ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ। ਡੰਡੋਤ ਬੰਦਨ ਅਨਕ ਬਾਰ, ਸਰਬ ਕਲਾ ਸਮਰੱਥ, ਡੋਲਨ ਤੇ ਰਾਖੋ ਪ੍ਰਭੂ, ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇ ਕਰ ਹੱਥ। ਸਗਲ ਦਵਾਰ ਕਉ ਛਾੜ ਕੈ, ਗਹਿਓ ਤੁਹਾਰੋ ਦਵਾਰ, ਬਾਹੇ ਗਹਿ ਕੀ ਲਾਜ ਅਸ, ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਦਾਸ ਤੁਹਾਰ, ਬਾਹੇ ਗਹਿ ਕੀ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਦਾਸ ਤੁਹਾਰ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ka Khalsa, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ Fateh. So Sangat ji, we're here today, blessed here today to be gathered in the presence of Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. And we're on week 16, I believe, of the Ardaas course. So we've taken a bit of a break. But now we're going to be talking about the Charli Mukti. So first, Maharaj done a supplication to the first 11 Guru Sahibs, from Guru Nanak Dev Ji up to Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And then Maharaj then goes through the Panj Pyare, the Char Sahibzade, and then the Charli Mukti. So now the Charli Mukti, there's a Sikhi related to the Charli Mukti, which is the Battle of Muktsar Sahib. So that's what we're going to go through today. But to get a clearer understanding of Battle Muktsar Sahib, it's important to go into and dive into the understanding of Guru Gobind Singh Ji's journey after the siege of Anandpur Sahib. So for those that don't know, Anandpur Sahib was under siege, was under attack for about 7 months, and they were surrounded. And to cut a long story short, Guru Gobind Singh Ji and some of the Khals had to leave Anandpur Sahib. And if you're a bit uneducated like me, I thought it was Anandpur Sahib. After that, you had the Sirsa river crossing, where there was a jung there was a battle there. A lot of Maharaj's family got split up. Then you had the Battle of Chamkaur. Maharaj then went to Machiwara jungle, and then they went to Hazur Sahib. But Maharaj had to go through all of these different towns and cities because they were still being chased by the Mughals, even after Anandpur Sahib, the Sirsa river crossing. And eventually, they then made it down to Muktsar Sahib. And just to provide a little bit of a clearer understanding of what that looks like, is you have Anandpur Sahib there on the top right, where you had the battle with Bhai Bachittar Singh when he took on the drunken elephant. Then you had the Sirsa river crossing. And then Maharaj went down to Battle of Chamkaur. Maharaj's Vadde Sahibzade were made shaheed there, alongside with 40 other Gursikhs. Then Maharaj went down to Machiwara jungle because he was told to leave Chamkaur Sahib. And then they went, just to cut what it looks like, they just went down to Raikot and then to Muktsar. Now during this time, on the right hand side where you have Anandpur Sahib, Battle of Chamkaur, this was all during, like we know, the Pore season, so the month of December. And by the time they actually got to Muktsar Sahib, it was Vasak. So it was about Vaisakhi time. So, and even in this time, in the month of Pore, you had the Shote Sahibzade that were also made shaheed. So this was the journey that Maharaj actually went to until they got to Muktsar Sahib. Now after the Battle of Chamkaur, so then you see it in the previous slide there, after the Battle of Chamkaur, towards the end of the battle, the Khalsa was basically telling the Guru that you need to leave the Qila, you need to leave the fort, because there's 40 of us and there's 1.8 million of them. Even though Maharaj was ready to give Shahidi on that day, but the Sikhs told him and gave him the hukum to leave Battle of Chamkaur and regroup all the Sikhs together so that we can regroup and reformalize and then attack the Mughals. So what they done was they disguised by Sangat Singh, who looked just like Guru Gobind Singh Ji, had the same mannerisms, they pretty much grew up together, disguised him as the Guru. And at this point, the Qila was taken over, and Wazir Khan actually thought he had made Guru Gobind Singh Ji shaheed at this point. And the news had spread throughout all of Punjab and to all the battalions that were attacking the Guru that the Guru is now dead and we can all just go back. So after that, all that 1.8 million, it wasn't just Mughals, you had Hil Raje, you had people from Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, all these people had just gone back to their respected places. But then Wazir Khan found out that it wasn't Guru Gobind Singh Ji that actually had given Shahidi at Battle of Chamkaur Sahib. So at this point, he's getting really worried. He's getting a bit scared now because he's thinking, well, I've just made his Vadde Sahibzade, Guru Gobind Singh Ji's oldest sons, Shaheed at Battle of Chamkaur, have then killed and murdered his two younger children, Baba Zorawar Singh and Baba Fateh Singh. And also in my company, in my presence, his mother's also died as well and given Shahidi. So he's now scared that Guru Gobind Singh Ji is going to take revenge on him. So now he's regrouped his army, regrouped his Fauj to then go and find the Guru and be in this pursuit to hunt down the Guru. And during this time, you had the Mughals that were just on their way to the Guru. They're still trying to find him and they're shouting out slogans like Satguru Ji nu maar deange, Gurdware sar deange, saying that we're going to kill the Guru, we're going to kill all the Sikhs, we're going to burn down all the Gurdware, we're going to just finish Sikhi from the face of this earth. We're not going to leave no more Sikhs alive, and anyone that does stay alive, we're going to convert them to Islam. And their whole mission now was to finally just wipe Sikhi from the face of this earth. So he's got his army together, and they're in this pursuit to find the Guru. Now you had my Paggo, who was from the Majha region of Punjab, which is the Amritsar region. Now, at this point, you had the Mughals that were coming just north of Patti, which you see in the map there, where I've circled. And then you had another set of Fauj that are coming from Sirhind. So you had people coming from the north and the east, heading south and west, all trying to attack the Guru. And at this point, in this village of Patti, my Paggo is talking to the Singhs, and she's saying, and she's got these like 5 motiyan, I think they're like 5 little pearls in her hands. And as they're shaking, all these 5 pearls are shaking in her hand. She's saying, look, Singho, there's the pearls in my hand are shaking because the ground is vibrating. And the reason the ground is vibrating is because that's how much Fauj, that's how much army, how many soldiers the Mughals had that were coming to attack Guru Sahib, that it was making all the land shake. And at this point, she's telling all the Sikhs and she's telling all the people at her pend, we need to regroup and go and defend Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Now, in this Majha region, I think there's a lot of confusion that the Charlie Mukte were at Anandpur Sahib, and then they left Anandpur Sahib, and then they came back to Anandpur Sahib. But what really happened was these set of Sikhs in Majha were always in Majha the whole time. Even during the Battle of Anandpur Sahib, throughout this whole siege, they were there the whole time. So you had these elder Sikhs at Majha, and they was thinking, all right, so if we're going to go help, but how can we help the Guru? And they're thinking, the whole army has been made Shaheed pretty much. Guru Sahib's children have died, or given Shahidi, and now he's probably alone. He's probably got no one with him, and Maharaj only had about 3 other Sikhs with him at that time. And so they're thinking to themselves, how can we help? And their whole plan was that we're quite connected to the Mughals. We're quite rich, and we could probably strike a deal with the Mughals. So let's go try find Guru Gobind Singh Ji, and let's try convince him of this deal. So they all got tiyar bar tiyar, they got their shastar on, they got their armor, their shastar, everything on, and they just go and they try to find Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And as when they finally met Guru Gobind Singh Ji, they then said, all right, we're going to be doing, we want to do vichar with you. And Maharaj said, okay, but then they also said that we want to give you advice. And this is where Guru Gobind Singh Ji is thinking, acha, so you want to come and give me advice? Am I the Guru or are you the Guru? And so they're saying, hear us out. So they have this vichar, they put out this like sheet on the floor, and they all sit together and they start speaking about this whole situation. And they're saying that, Maharaj, like, you've got Mughals coming from the north, you've got Mughals coming from the east. Like, let's try strike a deal with them. Let's try strike a deal with the Mughals. And at that time, you had Bhai Bhag Singh. Bhai Bhag Singh was one of the elders who sort of was speaking to Maharaj. And he's saying, look, you've had to leave Anandpur Sahib. You don't have a home to go back to. Your Sahibzade have been made Shaheed. Most of your soldiers have all died. You had generals like Baba Uday Singh, Baba Jeet Singh, Baba Jujar Singh. All these great generals you've had in your army, they've all given Shahidi. You know, you had people like Baba Uday Singh. When he got shot in the head, he fell forwards. And in Sanatan, in the art of warfare in India, if you ever get shot in the forehead and you fall forwards, you're considered like a great warrior. But instead of falling backwards, he's fallen forwards. You have people like Bhai Pachitra Singh, who was taking on a drunken elephant. You've got all these generals, they've all given Shahidi. Like, we have nothing left pretty much. And he's saying that what we want to do is that we wish we were there to do that seva for you as well. But let's now strike a deal with the Mughals. Let's try and make a truce. We have networks within the Mughal Empire. Let us speak to Aurangzeb, who was the emperor at the time, and let's try and come up with a plan where we can all live peacefully together. We've been at war, we've been having all these battles for 7, 8 months. I think it's time we just call it quits now. We've had enough, and you have no family, no soldiers left pretty much. Now, at this point, Maharaj gets into a sense of biras. He's not angry, but he's kind of annoyed that how could they even come up with such a solution? They said to him, my great-grandfather, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, gave Shahidi on a tatti tavi, had red-hot sand poured over him. Where were you then to strike these deals? You were nowhere to be seen. My grandfather was in Gwalior prison for over his sentencing, so he stayed longer than what he was supposed to, yet you didn't strike any deals then. My father, Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji, him and 3 other Sikhs gave Shahidi in Delhi, by Mati Das, by Dayala Singh, by Sati Das. One was sawed in half, boiled alive, set on fire, and then I had to hold my father's head, his cease, in my hand. Where were you then to strike all these deals? Did you not think to strike any deals then? Why do you all of a sudden you want to do it now? And at this point, now, Maharaj then gets a bit personal as well. He started saying, Thanu sharam honi chahiye. He's saying, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Anandpur Sahib was under attack for about 7 to 8 months. Not once did you think about striking any sort of deal then, but now all of a sudden you now want to strike this deal with Aurangzeb. And they're saying that, why would you want us to strike this deal with Aurangzeb? He's oppressing people. He's forcefully converting everyone. He's made my family shaheed. He's probably made one of your family members shaheed, your brothers, your sisters shaheed. Why do you want to side with the oppressor? Even in today's age, when someone is oppressing someone and we're silent, then we're just on the side of the oppressor. And at this point now, Bhai Bhag Singh, who was having this conversation with Guru Gobind Singh Ji, he's pretty much said to the Sikh, he's pretty much said to Guru Gobind Singh Ji that if that's the case, then we're not able to sustain our Sikhi. If we're not going to make this deal with Aurangzeb, then you have this might of the Mughal Empire. We're not going to be able to live a Sikhi Jeevan. We're not going to be able to live as Sikhs. They're trying to kill us. They're trying to burn down all our Gurdwara. How can we even live peacefully and keep our code of conduct? How can we outwardly portray as Sikhs if they're just going to kill us? What's the whole point of that? And Guru Gobind Singh Ji now, this just shows how fearless Guru Gobind Singh Ji was. There was probably 3 other Sikhs with him, and he's got a force of 25,000 Mughals coming towards him. And Maharaj just says it straight to Bhai Bhag Singh, did I ask for you to come here? Did I send anyone out to go get you guys? I didn't ask for any raven or anyone to go get you. I don't need your help. But Maharaj knew what was going to play out, but he's sticking it on Bhai Bhag Singh, saying, if that's the case, if you can't be a Sikh of the Guru, then just write it down on a piece of paper, write a badawa, a letter to me, that you and the Sikhs of Majja, where they were from, are no longer my Sikhs. That I am not your Guru and you are not my Sikh. And so at that time, you had 4 Sikhs that then signed this letter. So when all these Sikhs came to the Guru, there was more than 40. There was more than 40 Sikhs, but only 4 of them actually signed the letter, who were the elders. And that was Bhai Bhag Singh, Bhai Dilbag Singh, Bhai Garbara Singh, and Bhai Ganda Singh. And all of these lot cut their ties with Sikhi. Just that quickly, they just cut it all away. So Maharaj then gets those letters, puts them in his kamar kassa, and then they've got intel that the Mughals are now coming. And so he jumps back onto his horse, and he's gone to like this top of the hill. So they were down at the bottom of this hill, and now he's put the letter in there, his kamar kassa, jumped on his horse, and now they've gone on top of this hill. And all the Sikhs are now left at the bottom. And at this point, my Paggo, who got and convinced these Singhs to go help the Guru, she's just thinking, what the hell has just happened here? What's going on here? We've come to help the Guru, and in the end of it, our conclusion is that, oh, we're not Sikhs anymore. And she's quite getting into a bit of a sense of beat-us as well now. She's thinking, what's going on here? We've come to help Maharaj, and you guys have just happily just signed this letter to say now we're no longer Sikhs. There was this one Sikh called Duni Chand, who was from the same region as these guys, Majha. And when that drunken elephant at Anandpur Sahib came, Maharaj gave that order to Duni Chand to fight that drunken elephant. Because when the elephant came, Maharaj goes, Sadawi hati hai gaya Duni Chand, because he was quite mutta and that. And he's come, but Duni Chand got a bit scared. So he's jumped over the fort, fell, broke his leg, and later on in his journey when he was running away, he then got bit by a snake and then died. And so he kind of disgraced the people from Majha because he'd done something like this. And now my Paggo saying that first he disgraced us, and now we've just topped that. That we've now cut all our ties with Sikhi and the Guru. Saying that how are we even going to go back to Majha with these faces that when they say, why have you come back? We're going to say, oh, we wrote a Badawa saying we're no longer Guru Gobind Singh Ji Sikh. And so my Paggo is then telling them, even reminding them that Maharaj has sacrificed so much for us. He happily, freely just sent their father to Delhi to get beheaded and give Shahidi for Hinduism. His son, he happily sent his sons, his elder sons, into battle when they asked for permission. And he's even lost his younger two sons as well, and his mother. All these sacrifices he's made, including Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji, Guru Arjan Dev Ji, all these Sikhs, even the Sikhs fighting at Anandpur Sahib and Battle of Chamkaur, all these Singhs have given so much sacrifice to us. How can we just leave Sikhi? And my Pag was reminding them that, didn't you even think about this? When you're having this conversation with Guru Gobind Singh Ji, saying, that we're going to cut our ties, did you not once think that, oh, you know what, they have actually made so much sacrifice? And even today, we can even relate that today, that people are just happily leaving Sikhi with a snap of a finger without doing any sort of research about Sikhi. If someone was to just learn all the sacrifices Guru Gobind Singh Ji and all of the Guru Sahibs have made for us to just be here and doing matha tek, even just wearing a kara, even just saying Guru. At one point, saying Gur was banned, because Gur sounds like Guru. Gur is sugar. Even that was banned. And now people are just leaving Sikhi because they just think that the grass is greener on the other side without doing any sort of research into Sikhi. And so this is what my Pag was reminding the Singhs, is that Maharaj made all these sacrifices. We have to wake up and go help, because if we go and help, then maybe Maharaj might just forgive us. So at this point, she's now woken up and opened the eyes of these Sikhs. She only was able to convince 40 of them. So this is why it's called the Charli Mukte, the 40 liberated ones, because out of all those Singhs from Majha, only 40 of them stayed, and then you had my Paggo fighting in this battle. So you could say 41. And just where Maharaj was, where they were just speaking with Guru Gobind Singh Ji, there Maharaj had left like a footprint on the ground. They left this footprint and they went up the hill. And now when they were ready to fight in this battle, all the Gursikhs, all the 40 done matha tek to Maharaj's charan in that footprint, and they all then set up their battle positions. And this is what I found really interesting. Because back in the day, you had Singhs, then their kashere were massive, yeah? 5, 6, 7 meter kashere. And what they did was they used their kashere, they used their kamar kasas, and they started making these tambus, these tents in the berry trees. And what they done was they created this illusion that there's loads of us here, saying all these different battle positions. And in these battle positions, they were going to then start firing arrows, start shooting. If they have any spears, they'll throw them. And so in these berry trees, they start setting up these tambus. And when the Mughals came, they're thinking, whoa, we did not expect this many people here. But they still ended up deciding to attack the Guru and the Sikhs. So just like this picture is depicting, you had Maharaj at the top of the hill, and you had the 40 at the bottom of the hill. And then the jung had started between my Paggo and then the 46, and they all started by firing arrows, shooting bullets, and throwing any sort of long distance weapons that they had. Anything they had, they would be just firing them from a distance. And at that time, there was 25,000 Mughals trying to attack these 40. And the reason the Singhs were able to actually be successful in this battle was because they used a tactic called guerrilla warfare. And what guerrilla warfare is it's like a hit and run tactic. So you have someone would come in, attack, run away, come back, attack again. They'll use this other tactic where you have one Singh in the front. He wouldn't even care about killing anyone. His main mission is just to wound someone. So he would wound him, move on to the next one. Wound him, move on to the next one. And then whoever's behind him as a backup, he would just be there, just finishing everyone off, one by one, one by one. So you got a wound, he's moved on, kill, wound, kill. And this is the sort of tactics they kept using. And this is why they were kind of successful in this whole battle. And then you had Maharaj at the top of the hill, and he's just shooting arrows. You had the other Singhs that were firing as well. And anytime someone was getting too pressurized by the Mughals, Maharaj would just be shooting at them, killing 10 people, 20 people with just one arrow, just firing at every single Mughal that he could find or see. And all these Singhs, they started getting a lot of inspiration. Like, not only were they there to protect the Guru, but they were getting a lot of inspiration from the Battle of Chamkaur Sahib. Because even in the Battle of Chamkaur Sahib, you had 40 Singhs, and they were fighting 1.8 million. And so they're thinking, you know what, there's 40 of us as well, and there's only 25,000, looks like. There's not as many as what was at Battle of Chamkaur. We can 100% take these on. And one by one, they all just gave Shahidi, one by one. Because just how in Battle of Chamkaur, when they were firing from the distance, the Singhs were getting tired of it. Not because they were physically getting tired, but they were getting thirsty for blood now. They were getting thirsty to give Shahidi, give sacrifice to the Guru. And they look up to Maharaj and they say, Maharaj, come on. Let us go out now. Let us just fight the Mughals face to face. I want to see their faces now. And so he's now all these things that are at the Battle of Muktsar Sahib, they're going one by one. Not 5 at a time or 2 at a time. They're going 1 at a time. And each one is killing hundreds and hundreds of Mughals at a time. And then he's given Shahidi. Then another Singh will go forward. He would go as far as he can. He would give Shahidi. And one by one, all of them just gave Shahidi in this way and were able to just fight off all the Mughals. And what kind of worked in our favor, Maharaj Kirpa, right, is that they got dehydrated. When the Mughals were actually coming to Muktsar Sahib, there was no water source. So they weren't able to kind of hydrate on their search and on their pursuit to find the Guru. Now, when they were at the battle, at Muktsar Sahib, you had behind the hill, like a river, access to water. But then Wazir Khan's thinking, my Fauj are just dropping like flies. They're just dying, and it looks like we're fighting 50, it looks like we're fighting more than what we have. And this is all because of the illusion they created and the way they were fighting. And now he's thinking, if I go forward, all my men are going to die. And if I go 30 kilometers backwards, I'll be able to get access to water. So then that's when Wazir Khan then made that decision to just go and retreat. After the Singhs killed so many Mughals, he then decided to retreat. And that was, you could say, was that battle of 40 Singhs and my Bhag Kaur that were able to defeat 25,000 Mughals in just 3 hours and 45 minutes. They were able to hold these Mughals off for that long when there was just 40 of them, all because of not only Maharaj Kirpa, but because they were strong, they practiced this whole thing. You know, like nowadays, we think we could take on the world, but if we don't have any practice in fighting, you know, Shastra Vidya, if we don't have any abhyas on Sikhi, on Gurbani, then we're not going to be able to do any of these things that they did. You know, if you think about it, they didn't have no cars then, they had horses, but most of them would be running to wherever they're actually going to be fighting. So that's just one thing to just keep in mind. And at that time, 40 Singhs gave Shahidi. That's why they call it Charlie Mukte. And this bit is beautiful, because Maharaj then, when everybody's lying on the floor, when everybody's lying Shaheed on the floor, Maharaj then just comes down from the hill, and he's just like, you know, like a really proud father. He's just come down, and he's just so happy that he's just got all these Singhs that have just given Shahidi around him. Each Singh, as he's going up to each of the different Singhs, he's giving them all these honorific titles, saying, mera 5,000 Sikh, 40,000 Sikh, this is my Singh, he could take on 20,000, he could take on 50,000, this one here. And depending on how far they went, one by one, he was giving them that much more of an honorific title, saying, mera Sikh, Sawa Lakh, he can fight 125,000. My Sikh here, by Chamba, saying he's the governor of Lahore now, you know, like he's just giving them all these honorific titles. And by every Singh that was on the floor, that was Shaheed, he was going up to them and just cleaning them, wiping their faces, checking up on every single one. And around that one Singh, you just had a circle of just hundreds of Mughals around him. Like, I can just imagine that. Someone needs to make a movie on Sikhi, honestly. You can imagine just one Singh is laid Shaheed on the floor, and then you just got a circle of Mughals just around him, spread out. And at this time, he's checked up on 39 Sikhs, given them all these honorific titles, wiped the blood off everyone's faces. And then you had Bhai Maha Singh. And Bhai Maha Singh was, you could say, the leader, the Jathedar of these 46 that fought. And he's not Shaheed yet. He's still breathing, but he's dying. Yeah. But in his mind, this is his only desire right now is to see Maharaj. And the only way we can kind of explain that is through this Shabad, is Tu chao sajjan mandya dei sis otar nain mahinje tarsade kadpasi didar. That all I want is to, if you tell me, Maharaj, to cut off my head, I'll happily do it and just put it in your charan, put it in your foot, put it in your feet. All my eyes are just longing for your darshan. I just want to see you for my very last time, just to see your face, and then I'm happy. And at that time, you had Guru Gobind Singh Ji that's come, and he's checking up on Bhai Maha Singh, and he's just so happy. He's got Bhai Maha Singh's head, he's put it in his laps, and he's got his kamar kasa, and you got a little bit of a loose bit of kamar kasa, and he's wiping all the blood off his eyes, wiping it all off his eyes, and saying, soak in the darshan now, dekhla hon, yeah, I'm here. And just like soak in the darshan now, I'm right here. But you just ask for anything you want. I'm so happy, I'm so proud of you. You don't understand how happy and proud I am of you. Just ask for anything you want. If you want the Raj of the whole world, I'll give it to you. If you want Raj of the whole world, I'll give it to you. If you even want me to like heal your wounds and make sure you stay alive, I'll even do that for you. That's how happy I am of you right now. And even if you want mukti, if you want liberation, just tell me, I'll do anything for you right now. Like imagine, he's made such a, and by Maha Singh, all he's saying is that Maharaj, I'm happy. I've seen you, I've had your darshan now, and that's it. My whole body is just full of bliss. Can you imagine? There's not a single limb on his body that hasn't been cut, not a single limb on his body that isn't oozing blood out, and he's saying my whole body is filled with bliss just by seeing you. And remember, we see Guru Granth Sahib Ji every Sunday, whoever comes every Sunday. And we sit at home and we think, oh, my life is a bit crap, you know. But by Maha Singh, he's sitting with his whole body bleeding and he's saying, my whole body is full of bliss just because I've seen you now. And Maharaj isn't satisfied. He's like, no, I want to give you something. Yeah, there's something I want to give you. You have to ask for something. And then that's when Bhai Maha Singh says, that Badawa, that letter that those Singhs wrote to say that they're no longer your Sikh, just tear that apart. And Guru Gobind Singh is saying, you didn't even write the letter. He's saying, I don't care. I just want you to forgive me, forgive the Singhs of Majha, and just tear that Badawa. And instantly, Maharaj has just grabbed the chittiyan out of his kamar kassa and just torn it straight away. Now, this is one thing to really understand here, is that when Guru Gobind Singh Ji, when his sons gave Shahidi at Chamkaur Sahib, he didn't once go up and check up on any of the Singhs. You know, Bhai Daya Singh tried to cover Baba Ajit Singh's body, but Guru Gobind Singh Ji was saying, have you got enough material to cover all the rest of the bodies? And he goes, no, I don't. So he said, then don't worry about it, leave it. We're not going to discriminate. Just because he's my son, I've got many other sons. Yeah, their Shote Sahibs are there. Even they were made Shaheed. And something I forgot to mention, even in this moment back here when he was looking at Bhai Maha Singh and he's looking at his face, Maharaj actually had tears of joy in his eyes as well. Maharaj never cried for any of these atrocities that took place, but for his children, for his Gur Sikhs that sacrificed his life for him, Maharaj had tears of joy, and his tears are just falling on top of Bhai Maha Singh's face. Maharaj held their father's cease in his hand. He had his father's head in his hands. He didn't cry then. He didn't cry when his older sons were given Shahidi. He didn't cry when his mum died. None of these. But when his Sikh, when his children, when we see the Charlie Mukti, that's us. This is the biggest sign that Maharaj has given us, that he is actually our father. For anyone that doesn't have a father, or just know that Guru Gobind Singh Ji is given through this Sakhi the biggest assurance that I am here for you no matter what. Now, the one question we have to ask ourselves, including myself, is that have we written that Badawa today? Those Singhs might have written it, and we might look down at them for writing that Badawa, but I'm pretty sure every single one of us write that Badawa every single day. It could be simple things. Did we wake up for Amrit Villa? You don't have to be Amritari to wake up for Amrit Villa. Did we meditate today? If we're Amritari, did we do our Satabaniya? Some of us, including myself, we've had the Santya for Gurbani, but then do we read Gurbani in the morning? Or are we too lazy and just listen to it? And not only Amritaris, this isn't just aimed at Amritaris, even people that aren't Amritari, are we keeping our case? Are we slandering anybody? All these small things, Maharaj has given us the teachings on how to live, but are we actually listening to their teachings? Sometimes we can listen to the teachings and say, no, I can do it better. Or I know better than the Guru. You know? Maharaj is always trying to drag us. What does Guru mean? Guru means that one that's taking you out from the dark to the light, right? So anytime that Maharaj is now finally dragging us out of the darkness, we just skip straight back into the darkness. Because ignorance is bliss, isn't it? And this thing about laziness plays a massive role in writing that Badawa every day. Sometimes, like, I'll give you an example. I just went to go see Baba Joginder Singh, right? Even at his old age, he's the Jathedar of the Buddha Dal. He's just come from the UK, from India. Even at his old age, where he can barely walk, he's sleeping 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, and he's still keeping his full code of conduct, making sure he takes off every single lard of the star, not just take it off like a hat. You know, wake up for Amrit Villa every single morning. But this thing, laziness, Maharaj has given us a bhajan about laziness as well, you know. Once Maharaj said to the Singhs, he goes, my sing is to do shikar, is to hunt a lion every single day. Every single day, my sing is supposed to hunt down a lion. And then the sing said, all right, Sat Bachan, we'll do that. But then another sing goes, well, hang on, that don't make sense. What if there's 100 sings and 100 lions? There'll be no more lions left after one day if we just hunt down a lion every day, you know? And then Maharaj said, you don't understand what I'm saying. He's saying every day my Sikh is to wake up and fight that lion of laziness every day. Every time we wake up in the morning, during that Amrit Villa period, that is the equivalent of hunting down a lion. Because even Maharaj knows how hard that is. He knows how hard it is to hunt a lion as well. And he's saying, if you can do that, that is the equivalent. We can remind ourselves of that every single day. We like to think that we're big surme, big warriors and stuff. Just try wake up at Amritullah and then you'll realize how much of a warrior you are. And sometimes we have to trust our Guru, right? We have to trust him. He's always giving us a teaching, but we need to make sure that we can believe the teaching and then live up to it. You know when they were the Singhs at the Battle of Anandpur Sahib, they were there for 7 to 8 months. I don't blame the Singhs there and the Singhniya saying that we want to leave. The Mughals and the Hill Raje, they gave an oath to say, all you guys need to do is leave Anandpur Sahib and we won't touch you. But Maharaj saw through their rubbish and said to the Singhs, don't listen to them, they're lying to you, just stay here. Because Maharaj knew, either way, you're going to have to give Shahidi. He had the Sirsa river crossing, half the family was gone, many were made Shaheed, Granths were missing, they got washed away, Battle of Chamkaur, even this battle that took place. Maharaj knew, we're going to have to give Shahidi anyway, just trust me, and I'll give you Raj of the whole world. So we just have to have that trust, that we just got to trust the process. Maharaj has the formula, and we just have to just trust the process. It could be just keeping your case, wake up for Amritullah, you might feel tired, but again, just trust the process. And slowly, slowly, when you start taking on Maharaj's teachings, you'll start taking on their qualities as well. And all that time, even when we're talking about writing this Badawa, even if you're a very angry person, you snap at a lot of people, it's hard to forgive people, you get greedy. When we are following the teachings, we're able to control those things and start taking on Maharaj's qualities. So this is one thing that we need to keep in mind and know that we are always writing this Badawa. But if we just, like we're here today, we're sitting in the sanctuary of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. In this time of sitting here, or when we're doing Kirtan, just beg Maharaj for forgiveness. Beg Maharaj to just rip your Badawa every single day. Yeah? And when we talk about the Charli Mukte mentioned in the Ardaas, not only are we remembering the great sacrifice that they've done for us, but in that moment where we're mentioning Charli Mukte, in that moment, for me, I'm asking Maharaj, rip my Badawa. And sometimes we complicate Sikhi, and I thought this would be nice to share. It might not be relevant, but I just wanted to share it, to be honest. Yeah. And this was there was a student from the Vidyalaya called Kirandeep Kaur, and she done this workshop with these kids, and they said write a letter to the Guru. And so these were just 2 of these letters, and one of them was, Guru, you are my life. Guru, you are my map. Guru, you are the rain for the flowers. Guru, you are the food for starvation. Guru, you are the water for the thirsty. Guru, you are the kirpa. Guruji, I hope you read my letter. And the other one was, to Vaheguru, I always try to focus on doing part, but I never get to the point where I feel true bliss. My love is longing to aid you. Your Bani has true meanings that help me through my life. When I sing Kirtan, my mind is completely peaceful. I always want to be with you. And this is how simple it is, really. There's no such thing as basics of Sikhi. Sikhi is basic. We just got to have that innocent love like these kids do and try not to complicate it too much. Yeah? And the way we can try not to complicate it is that it's really, sometimes you always hear we should always live righteously, Hannah? But then what does that look like, innit? What does living righteously look like? And righteousness has 10 parts. So if there's anything we're going to leave today with, it's going to be that not only are we going to ask Maharaj to always rip our Badava, we're going to remember the great sacrifice that Charlie Mukte had done, but also I want everyone to have these 10 things. It's 5 now, I'll show you the other 5. And these 5 things, we have it printed out and we just stick it on our fridge or we stick it on our wall. And this is our way of ripping that Badava or trying not to write one at all, really. The first one is forgiveness, always having kima. It can be really hard to forgive, but I'm telling you, I'll tell you a personal experience I had. I done Baba Ankar Singh, some people know Ankar Singh, right? And he's taken me to this Kirtan program. All day we're doing Kirtan, and I was in so much anand that I was thinking about my worst enemy, and I was like, you know what, I forgive you. I just didn't say it to him, but I said it in my brain. I couldn't really say it to his face, but like that is one part of righteousness. It's the hardest one, but it's the most useful one that you ever have in your life. The other one is ahimsa, not being violent, not attacking anyone that's less powerful than you. Having daya, having compassion, seeing someone that's, a poor person, you want to give them money, or anything like that. It could be anything. Having compassion. Mrid, being soft-hearted, softly spoken. Being always truthful as well. Never telling a white lie. Even if you're late for school, if you're late for work, always telling the truth. Not saying, oh, there was traffic or anything like that. Always telling the truth. And you'll realize how hard it is to live in righteousness when you have to do some of these things. Then you have tap, which is having stillness of the mind. So we're supposed to do jap tap. So jap, doing Vaheguru Simran. But then also, when you're doing that jap and you're literally chanting God's name, but having that stillness in the mind, not letting your mind waver. And then you have daan. Every Sikh is to give 10% of their money to charity. If you're earning 1,600 a month, you're giving 160 in any sort of shape or form. Shant Subha, this is my favorite one, is being cool, calm and collected. You're so cool, calm and collected that your cool, calm and collected, your soft nature, your cool nature is then rubbing off on other people, and it makes them cool, calm and collected as well. Then you have Suchamta, which is cleanliness, washing your hands before you eat, simple things like that. And then Trishna Bina, having no desires. Not saying that, I have a lot of desires. It's some of these things seem very basic, but they're so hard to do as well. But if we can have these 10 things printed out, just have them in front of us at all times. It could be your wallpaper on your phone. And every single decision we ever make in our life would always be within Dharam. And then we can actually then call ourselves the Sikh of the Guru. So I'm going to wrap up here. Sorry for taking up for so much of your time. Let's just, every day, beg Maharaj, rip that Badava of ours. We're going to be doing Kirtan now. Let's just beg Maharaj to give us the willpower to live in righteousness and to help us never to write that Badava. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.
ਚੰਨ ਪਰ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਰੰਗ ਰਾਤੇ, ਪਰ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਰੰਗ ਰਾਤੇ, ਚੰਨ ਪਰ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਰੰਗ ਰਾਤੇ, ਪਰ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਰੰਗ ਰਾਤੇ। ਮਾਤਾ ਕੀ ਕੇਤਕ ਕਰਨੀਏ, ਮੈਂ ਮਾਤਾ ਕੀ ਕੇਤਕ ਕਰਨੀਏ, ਚੰਨ ਪਰ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਰੰਗ ਰਾਤੇ, ਪਰ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਰੰਗ ਰਾਤੇ, ਚੰਨ ਪਰ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਰੰਗ ਰਾਤੇ, ਪਰ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਰੰਗ ਰਾਤੇ। ਸੁਖ